Woman who heard animal noises from under her house had a naked man living there. All right. Yes. Here we go. We're going in. This is from CBS News.
A 93-year-old woman with dementia living in this small home had been telling her family for months that she thought she was hearing an animal under her home. Turns out it was an adult man living under there.
And she had dementia. Yeah, okay, all right. Well, I'm starting to get an idea of how this went on for so long. Like, I think I can hear a raccoon down there. Our kids are like, all right, Mom, come on. You could barely hear the TV when it's fucking Real Housewives of Connecticut on full blast. But this you can hear. Okay, a little mouse shuffling. All right, sure, Mom. Anyway, yes, it turns out that she's not imagining this thing at all. It is a fully grown adult male down there. Woman who heard animal noises from under her house had a naked man living down there.
Turns out it was an adult man living under there, and last night the LAPD SWAT team had to use gas to get him out.
Oh, and yes, I mean, absolutely. This is clearly a job for SWAT, for the Special Weapons and Military Tactics unit of the LAPD, because we assume that the Navy SEALs and the CIA were busy. I guess. I mean, I'm just assuming that.
Last night, the LAPD SWAT team had to use gas to get him out.
I mean, why do you need a fucking SWAT team for this? Do you really need a fucking SWAT team to come out for this one? If she just thinks it's an animal down there. She just thinks it's a raccoon or a coyote, right? I mean, I know Americans could be a little bit gung-ho. We all know that. We've all come to know, love, and accept that our North American cousins, especially if you've stuck around for enough of these weird, bizarre, kind of half funny news stories that we put in at the end of the podcast, we will all know that we've come to love and accept our friends from across the pond, and how they can be a little bit gun happy at times. They go in a bit hard on occasion, Nail with the sledgehammer is an expression that comes leaping to mind when discussing the Americans' near genetic need to go grab a fucking shotgun and shoot an unarmed black woman off your driveway. Like, I'm not making this. That was another one that we looked at, wasn't it? I know why I'm laughing. It's not funny. It's a fucking tragedy. Or the fentanyl addicts that had some sort of disagreement with the people behind the desk, and then they came back and shot up their hostel about it. That was another one of America's greatest hits. Another instance of Americans grabbing a probably legally purchased 12-gauge shotgun, probably came free with a Happy Meal, and using it to solve your base level American customer service problems. Like, maybe it's a little bit about gun ownership. Maybe it's a little bit about flooding the market with all of these death machines. But maybe it's also a little bit about having too good customer service. And then when you do check out of a hostel and the customer service ain't all that, maybe it does send you a little bit doolally. Maybe you've had it too good for too long. And you're like, you know what? That bitch behind the counter she was a bit fucking rude. Maybe there's an element of that also. We love, big fans on this show. We love the American penchant for sending for SWAT, because an old lady with dementia maybe heard a coyote.
Well, last night around 9 o'clock, the noises became so loud, and at times the woman said they sounded like a human voice.
I love that. Absolutely love it. I love the fact that she's still awake at 9 o'clock. I find that inspiring. Like, I have two kids, and honestly, by the time that they're in bed, I have about 45 minutes tops before I am nodding off on the sofa, and that's like 8:30. And this bitch is like 93. And she's still up and partying at like 9 o'clock at night. God bless her.
Well, last night around 9 o'clock, the noises became so loud, and at times the woman said they sounded like a human voice.
And second, I love the idea like this guy, like it's in California, right? Says that it's in California somewhere. Entertainment capital of the world. I love the fact that it gets to 9 o'clock and then suddenly she starts hearing what sounds like a human voice, right? And I really think that's because this is Los Angeles and this gentleman is doing a podcast. Like, I think that's what's happening here. Like, every night at 9 o'clock, it starts. Like, it sounds like a man's voice, doesn't it? And he's talking and, like, shouting about how I need to stay away from Big Pharma and chemtrails and pedophile drag queens. Like, it's InfoWars' new setup, isn't it? That's what this is. Like, it's Alex Jones's new podcast setup. That is what's happening here. Like, ever since InfoWars got bankrupted and Alex Jones had his whole set and that compound repossessed and he got fined like $1 billion. That is what this is. Every night at 9 o'clock, it would start, and it's like it's a man's voice. I could hear a man's voice, and it would like warn me to stay away from communist drag queens and pedophiles. And the kids are like, "Mom, didn't you wonder what was down there?" And she's just like, I thought it was God. They're like, "Oh, Jesus Christ."
Just another morning here with Adrian Thompson.